Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm doing the final part of my Alice in Wonderland series and I'm doing the Cheshire Cat makeup tutorial for you. So first I'm going to prime my eyelids using my MAC Painterly paint pot to help remove any discoloration, and then I'm going to set that using my MAC Minerilise Skin Finish in the shade Medium. Then for brows, I'm using my Benefit Browzings in dark, and I want to create quite a dark, strong brow for this look. So really building the colour up until we get a nice strong brow, and then with the Loreal brow gel, I'm just combing the brow hairs upwards and outwards until we get that really hairy feline effect to the eyebrows. For eyes today, I'm going to be using my Morphe 35P palette. First of all, I'm taking this soft peach shade and I'm washing it through the eye contour. Then I'm taking a slightly darker brown shade and I'm using this on top of that peach shade just to add a little bit of extra depth and definition. Then I'm taking an even darker chocolate brown shade and I'm using this on the outer corner of the eye, and we're just going to start to create the shape of the eye. So we want the eye to be very almondy and very feline. So we really want to focus on the outer corner and really lift the outer corner upwards and outwards. So creating that shape using these soft kind of transition shades, and then when we build up with the colour on top, it'll be a lot more easier to blend and to create the shape that we desire. Next, I'm going in with my Too Faced Peanut Butter and Jelly palette, and I'm using the shade Jelly, which is this beautiful fuchsia pink. I'm applying that to the mobile lid, focusing on the inner corner and the centre of the eyelid. I'm building this colour up quite a lot to really get the opacity and the strength that I require. Now we're going to start to really build and lift the outer corner of the eye. So I'm taking a matte black shade from that 35P palette, and like I said, I'm starting to create and lift the outer corner of the eye. So applying a little bit of it at a time, applying, blending. So don't put a whole heap of black on at once and try and blend it. You'll find you'll end up with a really big messy black eye. So just do a tiny bit and blend it, and just keep repeating that process until you get the shape you require. It's the most effective way to work with black eyeshadows. Is you really need to be patient and you really need to take your time. Now once we've created the basic shape that we desire, I'm going to go in with a black gel liner. So I'm using my Loreal 36-hour gel liner, and I want to create quite an extended wing. So we're starting on the outer corner of the eye and extending the wing up towards the tip of the brow, and then bringing it back down along that upper lash line. And once that wing is in place, I'm going to intensify the outer corner even further, this time using a pencil brush and again that matte black eyeshadow, and just blending as per usual until we get the depth of colour we require. At this point, I went in and intensified that pink a little bit further. I felt it got a little bit wishy-washy with all the black, so I just went back in on top of what we'd done just to make it stand out once again. And then, because I really feel like I haven't put enough on my eyelid already, I'm going in with my NYC liquid liner in black over that eyeliner, just to make sure it's very strong and it's very inky black. Okay, next step is to take a cream gel liner. So I'm using the shade Swerve from the ColourPop collection, and I'm applying that to the upper waterline. So really pushing it right into the lash bed and into the waterline. Next, I'm taking a makeup wipe and really cleaning up the underneath of the eye, so removing any fallout and sharpening up that wing, just so it's nice and sharp and nice and lifted. Now for foundation today, I'm using my Clinique Beyond Perfecting foundation in the shade Alabaster. So applying it all over the face and then blending it in using a Sigma flat kabuki brush. Next, we're going to start to create some shape into the face. Now, felines tend to have a very skeletal, very contoured face. So we're going to create a very strong highlight using the IT Cosmetics by Undereye in the shade Lite. This is a very stark white concealer, so perfect for creating that really strong highlight. So I'm applying it to the center of the face, so the chin, down the nose, under the eyes, and in the center of the brows and on the forehead. I'm going to blend that in using a buffing brush, and then I'm going to go over the top using a damp beauty blender just to make sure it's nice and blended into the skin. Then I'm going to set all that with the Mercier translucent setting powder, and we're going to bake it. So I'm going to apply the powder quite heavily, and we're going to leave it in place for about 10 minutes, and that's really going to emphasize that highlight. It's going to make the center of the face look very white, and it's going to make it stand out. So it'll really help to emphasize the bone structure of the face. Now I'm also taking this along the jawline. This is a beautiful placement for baking. It really makes the jaw look very contoured, and it makes the cheekbones look very high. It's a beautiful placement for any look, but for this look it really helps to emphasize that highlighted effect. Now, because we've highlighted, we definitely need to bronze. So I'm using my Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil bronzer, and I'm applying it to the outer perimeters of the face. So pretty much anywhere we didn't highlight, I'm going to place the bronzer. So just taking it along the forehead, down the cheekbones, under the jawline, and we're also going to be contouring the nose. Once all that bronzer's on and we're happy, we're just going to wipe off the excess bake. So just using a clean blusher brush and just dusting over the bake just to remove any excess powder. And then you can see you've got that really beautiful contoured effect to the face. Now, when it comes to contouring the nose, we don't want to contour like we normally would. We want to contour kind of halfway down the nose. What that will do is it'll actually make the nose look wider rather than slimmer. Now, we want to create a very wide tip to the nose. So when it comes to the lower part of the nose, obviously making sure you're flicking out over the nostrils. And that's going to really emphasize that very wide feline nose that we're trying to create. Now, this is a Halloween look, so don't worry if it starts to look very strong. This isn't an everyday makeup tutorial. This is meant to look very strong and very exaggerated, so don't panic. Okay, back to the eyes. So I'm going to use again that ColourPop cream gel liner in Swerve, and I'm taking it along the lower waterline this time. So really pushing it into the waterline and into the lash bed. And then we're going to smudge it out using a smudger brush just to give a nice smoky effect. And then we're going to smudge it out further using a pencil brush and that black matte eyeshadow from before. So really working along the lash line to make it nice and smoky. Now, the next step is a very small step, but it's a super important step, so do not miss this out. So you're going to take a white eyeliner pencil, so I'm using the one from Napoleon Perdis, and we're going to create a tiny white triangle on the very inner corner of the eye. So right underneath the tear duct, we're going to create a little triangle, as you can see me doing. And what this does is it gives a very extended effect to the inner corner of the eye. So if you look at a cat's eye, they tend to have a very deep kind of tear duct, and that's what we're trying to create. And it makes the eyes look very feline and very almondy. Last step for the eyes is we're going to take a slightly larger pencil brush and a mix of those brown shades that we used on the upper contour for the transition, and we're just going to sweep that along that lower lash line. Now, the last step for the eyes is we're going to take that NYC liquid liner and we're just going to line the lower part of that white triangle, so pretty much extending the lower lash line downwards underneath that white triangle, again to extend the inner corner of the eye and to really emphasize that feline effect to the eye. Now onto nose. So first I'm going to create the shape using a black eyeliner pencil. Now we're pretty much just covering the tip of our nose in black. So first of all I'm going to create the shape, and then I'm going to fill it in again using that NYC liquid liner. Now unfortunately my camera decided to stop recording when I basically drew the outline of the mouth, but you can pretty much see what I've done. So I've just really extended and widened the mouth to give a very Cheshire grin effect to the face. Now I haven't tried to make this too realistic, I've kept it very cartoony. So I've basically drawn fan shaped teeth, so lots of little triangles. So all you want to do is create the outline using a black pencil, and then once you're happy with the shape, start to go in with your blacks and whites. So I'm using my Loreal gel liner in black to obviously fill in the black, and I'm using a white face paint to fill in the white. Now the biggest tip I can give you here is do all of your black work first, let it set for about 10 minutes until it's very dry, and then go in with your white. If you do it too quickly and the black's still wet, you'll find it will basically just turn the white grey. Now I did have that problem because I was being incredibly impatient, but take your time, and then if you do have any mistakes, let it all set and then just go back over it and you should be able to work on top. And then you can also go in with eyeshadows if you want to really set everything in place and make everything a bit brighter and a bit stronger. Now we just need to draw on some little whiskers. So my technique is just to take an eyeliner brush and a little bit of that gel liner and very, very gently kind of swish the brush across the cheek. So you don't want to kind of press too hard and create a line. You want to kind of flick it across the cheek until you get that nice, soft, wispy whisker look. Now the last step of the look is to create some stripes. So I just did it along my forehead. So I basically placed one stripe right through the center of my forehead and then did 3 on either side, finishing at my temple. So I just used the pink shade from the Peanut Butter and Jelly palette to first create the very soft pink stripe, and then I used a matte purple from the 35P palette through the center of that pink stripe to give it some dimension. Now you can really go to town with this. You can add stripes all over the face, you can make them darker, you can make them stronger, you can make them thicker. I wanted to keep it pretty simple, so it gave the striped effect to the skin without it kind of taking away from the mouth. So you can play around with that as much as you like, but this is kind of how much I wanted to do, and I was very happy with the finished effect. So basically apply the eyeshadow to the face, blend it, apply, blend, always using that same technique. Don't put too much on at once because you'll have nowhere to blend it to, and just building up until you're happy with the intensity. Okay, so this is the finished look. I really hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I hope to see you on the next video. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon. Bye!